Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, of course, of the Configurations of Being, and welcome back to another episode of Cooperators. We're back playing some more Dead to Rights. Yeah, I was just trying to remember. Dead to Rights. Yeah, that game. So we put in some more codes.
There he is!
There's really no difference, honestly. Alright.
He's over here!
Alright, so another thing that I did was I also made the game harder, but that doesn't make a fucking difference at all whatsoever. I wonder if you could take off codes.
That's the guy. Dead man.
I don't know if you can take off codes. If there's like a code I definitely don't want, like if I don't want like you know the 1,000 fucking bullets, I just want like regular guns. Oh, that's a lot of gold. I wish I could take some home with me. Trying to remember that thing that Al Gore showed us, saying that us Americans are so naive by how the root of all evil is definitely, money and everything. So when it comes to like, shit like this, he shows a little diagram. There's a scale. On one side of the scale is these delicious gold bars. They look delicious and everything. And on the other side of the scale is the entire fucking planet! So, it's legit weighing off of, like, the root of all evil is definitely all about, money, gold, etc. Picking the fucking lock. Why do I have a time limit? Like, who's coming to kill me? And if they are, I can just fucking kill them. Okay. So, I just noticed it now. Hang on.
Time to bring the fight to them.
So, I put the difficulty onto Super Cop mode, and I just realized maybe I shouldn't have done that. Only reason why is because the mini games are difficult. Like, fuck everything else. Like, the game itself is easy, and I thought it would have made it, like, slightly interesting, just to make it seem as though I'm not, like, burning through this whole fucking game. Don't worry, I think the second game, I don't have codes for it, so it won't really matter. So that game is gonna be a motherfucker. It's just, I know this game for a fact is hard as holy shit. Like, it's unforgivingly hard, unfortunately. The second game, I know I did that without codes, and I beat it, and it was... wasn't easy, but it like, it was challenging, but it's beatable. Like, this game... No, it's not beatable. At least on the Xbox version, no. Like, you have to be a fucking gaming god or something like that. I mean, I had to use the action replay on the Xbox. Remember that? And then that really didn't even do anything. It just gave us save points. It's kind of retarded, honestly. I didn't like the action replay for the Xbox. I thought it was gonna give me codes and this. And I thought it was gonna be like the Game Shark. It is so not. The action replay actually works out better on the Sega Saturn. That's more of the game. That's more of a Game Shark for the Sega Saturn. But I use that as a mod hack. Not a hack. I'm sorry. Well, yeah, I guess you can call it that. But I use the Game Shark, not the Game Shark, the action replay on the on my Sega Saturn because I use an American Sega Saturn console. And what the Game Shark does is it enables me of playing overseas games, so I can play games that are like exclusive titles that were like in Japan or somewhere else. There we go. Plant key acquired. Like a while ago, I was playing Deep Fear. Now that game is, first off, Deep Fear was not an easy game to get because I think you guys are just like telling yourself, oh, it's like some stupid ass fucking game. All right, so let me give you the rundown. Deep Fear is a game on the Sega Saturn that was released only in Japan and in Europe. Now, when I say Europe, I mean like England and places like that. So, it was easy to get a copy of Deep Fear in Japan, but the problem is that it's all in Japanese. So, me playing that game would be a goddamn nightmare trying to translate everything. So, I would not enjoy that. So, I found a European copy. It was expensive, though, and I was able to get it. Now, the game Deep Fear is basically like
Time to take out the trash.
a Resident Evil knockoff, I guess, but you know, there's always like those. There's good Resident Evil knockoffs and then there's bad Resident Evil knockoffs. This one was actually fairly good. It takes place like in a deep sea diving type of thing. Like, has anyone ever seen the movie Deep Star 9? I think that's what the movie's called. Very, very old 80s movie, like one of those B-rated movies that like no one really watches or gives a shit about. It's basically like that, but cooler because it's a fucking video game.
From what I saw, I began to understand what was going on. About 100 years ago, officials said the gold was all gone from what was then called Glitter City, so they renamed it Grant City.
Huh.
But that wasn't exactly the truth.
So all the gold's been melted down to liquid. Melted down to what, though? What did they... Oh! They're trying to smuggle the gold. I think. I'm trying to remember. I don't remember, honestly, but if I'm not mistaken, they melt the gold down, and they shape it into something else where no one would give a shit about, and they smuggle it through wherever. So, like, hypothetically, let's just say this. Actually, this was actually in one movie, which... Okay, spoiler alert. Has anyone ever seen the movie Inside Man? But there was a sequel to it, actually. I'm not kidding. It was like one of those directed DVD type of things. It's on Netflix, by the way. So if you guys want to watch it, go for it. If not, stop watching right now. Stop watching this video right now.
A lot of gold. And I doubt Fort Knox was having a yard sale. I got a feeling this is bigger than I thought.
So stop watching right now. I'm gonna reveal some spoilers about the movie. So the movie,
Those mounted turrets will cut me to ribbons if I let them. Gonna have to think about this a little.
Thought complete. Thought complete. Okay, so legit, stop watching right now, because I'm gonna start revealing some spoilers. If you guys don't, if you guys don't give a shit, then alright, fine, whatever. So the movie Inside Man 2 does not have any of the original actors. They mention Denzel Washington's character and they mention Clive Owen's character. They mention them, but apparently it is another bank robbery, obviously. And it takes place at the same place, New York City, and it's all about maybe it's not New York. I forgot where it is, but it's all about Clive Owen's sister, who was the one who actually made the plan for the first movie, and obviously they need another plan for this movie. They need another plan for this movie, and the plan was that they had a bunch of...
There was plenty more gold. They just didn't have any way of getting to it back then. So they sat on the secret and let it turn into legend. But it seems William Pinnacle had figured out how to wrap his mitts around that legend and call it his own.
Sure, whatever the fuck you said. So anyway, what happens is that the sister, they get her brother, and you're like, do another job for us or we'll kill your brother type of thing. So they get her brother, and she's got to do another job, for random people. Just trying to see what other guns I have. So the job is that she's got to steal Nazi gold from a bank that the bank doesn't even realize they even fucking have. So it's not really stealing if, they don't realize they even, it's not even logged. Same thing how in the first movie, they didn't steal anything because it was a bunch of diamonds from like a family, which was never even logged in because it was the
Prisoners? The hell are they doing in here?
bank owner's vault, so he never logged it in. I guess they're paid to... I don't know. I guess they pay... They bailed them out, and now they're paying them to do this shit. Alright, so her job was, in order to see her brother alive, she would have to steal Nazi gold. Now, here's a spoiler. In order to get the Nazi gold out of there, which she did to smuggle it was they build a crucible down in the base. They build they robbed the bank, same way that the brother did. Took hostages, this and that. Ooh, tattoo.
No freaking way! It's Slate!
Tattoo.
The biggest rat in the rat hole.
I missed the original song where it was like a what was it? It was like a rap, not a rap song. What was it called? It was a club song. It's like on the second level, I think it was. I don't know, when I was fighting Boris and Dimitri, the brothers, whatever. So anyway, I know, I can't get through this fucking
Figures
story.
they'd use prison labor. Who'd better to authorize this shady sort of extracurricular activity than the mayor himself? Pinnacle certainly had some things to answer for, and the list was growing longer.
Gotta find the mayor. Yeah, that's one way of doing it. I feel like this is underneath the prison. Anyway. So, what they do is they, the same way that the brother did. They rob the bank, get some hostages, etc., etc. And they said, this seems more like it's the inside man job back in so-and-so. So that's when they start mentioning, the job and everything, etc., etc. So what they do, here's the spoiler, is they build a crucible, which I don't know if you guys know what a crucible is. It's basically a place where they can melt gold, or basically just do, just melt things, basically. Melting metal. So they build a crucible, and they melted all the gold down to, they melted all the Nazi bars of gold down to little tiny fences. Because in the bank, it had brass fences. So later in the movie, they release all the hostages and they blow up the bank. And they all get out, basically. Later, they disguise themselves as a cleanup crew, collecting all the brass, saying, like, we're just gonna recycle this brass. They collected all the brass, and all the brass was secretly all... Wait, can I just walk on that? I can. Alright, so fuck it. All the brass was secretly gold. And that's how they were able to sneak $100 million in 24-karat Nazi gold out of a bank. Is melting it down to something else. And disguising it, right? Melting it down and disguising it. So I thought, the concept of that, honestly, I thought was kind of cool. The movie was just, It wasn't, it's not really something, what the fuck is that? That's what I wanted. Why can't I take it? See, this is one thing I definitely need to stop doing, is I need to stop putting in the 10,000 bullet cheat code.
Suddenly everything made sense. As mayor of Grant City, Pinnacle trumped up a bogus subway plan and rerouted the diggers into the heart of the mother lode.
And this is where it all led to.
It was a pretty brilliant plot. Steal billions of dollars of gold right out from under the citizens of Grant City while having the chumps pay for the endeavor. That's what Dad discovered, and that's why they killed him. I knew there was corruption in City Hall, but I didn't think it went as far as murder. The mayor had some serious sins to confess, and I was gonna see him stand in judgment, even if it meant sending him to hell myself.
Oh, lovely. He's got nipples. Of course he's got nipples. Everyone's got nipples. Where the fuck did all my guns go? My guns! My guns! Alright, so, we're 13 minutes in. Yeah, we're still on chapter 10, but fuck it. I'm just gonna save right here. So next time on The Cooperators, we're gonna continue with some more Dead to Rights. Yeah, Dead to Rights. I was gonna say Dead to Rights 2. We're not on that game just yet, but soon. We'll see you next time.
We're gonna reach for the stars.